Hello?
Teddy! Bob had panic poops because the magazine is coming, and then Louise put some stuff you left in our basement on the toilet seat. It was something in a jar, and Bob sat in it, and he got stuck.
Oh my God. That's Teddy's Sticky Spackle.
Teddy's what?
Sticky Spackle. I invented it. It's stronger than super glue.
Well, how do you get it off?
You gotta use nail polish remover.
All right, I'll get the nail polish remover, but you gotta come down here as fast as you can and get this door open.
Listen, I would, but I just started a therapy session. Dr. Marjorie says that I spend all my time fixing things for other people, so who fixes me? Ah, screw it. Bob needs me. I'm coming as fast as I can, Linda.
Uh-oh, we got customers. Gene, put an out-of-order sign on the door.
On it.
Good.
Wait, what should it say?
Out of order. Dad's stuck on toilet.
No.
What about out of order? Toilet cursed with evil.
We're headed to season 7, which premieres Sunday, September 25th at 7:30.
That's incredible. Did you ever think when you signed on to a show on Fox by the creator of Home Movies, sort of like a legendary cult show, one
Yeah.
of the original, I think, Adult Swim animated shows, that Fox would hold on to the show for as long as it did?
It's been like kind of slow and steady, wins the race, and it totally came out of nowhere, the demo, and just kind of picked up steam, and thank God that it did.
I mean, it's now part of sort of Fox's classic animation block in the sense it's between The Simpsons and Family Guy, right? So they're clearly holding on to the show and like its fan base.
Yeah, they're really supportive at Fox, and all the execs have been super into the show from the start. So we're really lucky to have that. It helps.
One of the things that you guys have is you have an amazing cast of voice actors. For any sort of comedy nerd out there, it's kind of like the dream team of names behind it. Are you comfortable?
No,
You
I'm
okay?
gonna just
Figure it out.
okay, there we go.
It's kind of a dream team of names. It's you, John Benjamin, Eugene Merman, Larry Murphy, Kristen Shaw. It's for anybody who was like around the alt comedy scene like 10 years ago. It's everyone's favorites. But how often are you guys actually in a room doing voices together?
Yeah, pretty often actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he likes it when we record together, and we do a lot of improv, and we're here in New York and in LA as well. So it's kind of a bi-coastal show. We have Kevin Kline, Eugene Merman, and myself and John. Kristen's back and forth a lot. Larry Murphy, Boston a little bit, but and then in LA we get great guest stars all the time. So it's always a really fun environment, and you know, we have great guest stars this season: John Oliver, Samantha Bee, Amy Schumer. We have some really good stuff.
She's in the premiere episode, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like in all 3, I think: Simpsons, Family Guy, and Bob's.
Wait, she's guest starring in all 3 premiere episodes on Sunday night?
Yeah, she's like that's the running theme is Amy Schumer, which is really cool.
How did that? Do you know how that happened?
They try to do this, I think, with the network. I think they try, you know, it's really hard to find one person that everyone agrees on, I think. So she happened to be awesome and wanted to do it. So, yeah.
So was it always that way when you guys first started doing the show, that you would come together and record? Because that's kind of an anomaly when it comes to animated shows.
Yeah, like when we did Archer, we were kind of all by ourselves, just in the booths and stuff like that. You do it one at a time. But with Bob's, Lauren really loves that environment of having us all together and improvising. And
how often do you find that what's animated on the show is what you guys improvised?
You know, it happens probably, 20% of the time. You know, the writers are so good. We have really great scripts to start with, and all the table reads are hysterical. I'm always crying with laughter, and we have really talented people involved in the show as well. So it's a nice thing just to come to work and laugh, and you just know it's going to be good.
It's so weird that John Benjamin is Bob and kind of plays the straight man of the show, and sort of the same thing with Archer when he's sort of everything but that in his comedy.
Yeah, in real life he's just this short, ugly guy. So, no, just kidding, John. With really bad breath, actually. No, just kidding. He doesn't have
You're
that.
throwing shade at John Benjamin.
I know. Well, he's a horrible person. So, yeah.
He relishes hearing that.
He does. He loves it. No, we're good friends. It's okay. Yeah.
How often do you guys actually get to? Because you get together for like Comic-Con and stuff like that. Is that like a sort of huge sort of feel like a family reunion?
Yeah, I mean, it's great at Comic-Con because we get to see all the fans and the cosplay, and everyone's really invested in the show. So we're already in a good mood because we're feeling successful. And then, we drink a lot together. So it's a nice vibe. We're usually at the bar till 3 in the morning, having fun with the cast of Archer and everybody, and it's like Christmas to me. Comic-Con, I have a great time.
How did you get the part on the show?
The old-fashioned way, hard work and determination.
Bit of elbow grease, grit.
Well, like 10 years ago, YouTube came out, and I was performing in the East Village a while ago, doing my characters, and then YouTube kind of came along, and Lauren found me,
And one of your characters is, I think she's just called Mom.
Yeah.
And she's based on your mom, right?
my mom, yeah.
And that's kind of
Margie.
the voice. What's her name?
Margie.
Margie.
Yeah.
That's kind of the original voice of Linda, or where Linda came from. For those who haven't seen, we have a quick clip. If you don't mind, we'll play a quick clip of the Christmas tree.
Sure.
To give people an idea.
Yeah,
Can we roll?
It's 20 years old now.
Is it really?
No, just kidding.
Oh, wow.
No, it's
Can
YouTube.
we roll the clip of a Christmas tree?
10 years, about 10 years old. Yeah.
Well, come over. We're going to get the tree. Yeah, come over now. Hurry up. We're going to get the tree. Come on. Come over. We just got the tree. We just got the tree. It's gorgeous. Yeah, come on. You got to see it. We just got the tree. You got to see it. Oh, look at that tree. Hey, if it says tree on it, that means it's decorations. It needs to come down. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to decorate the tree. Come over. Make it nice around the tree. Come on, make it even. Make it nice. Come on. All right. Go ahead. Don't turn on the tree. Don't turn it on. Go ahead. Turn it on. All right. Look at the tree. Oh, look at the tree.
The tree. There it is. Yeah.
Those videos are so
Thanks,
wonderful. I remember when they came out, and I think I still go back to them sometimes and watch them. They're just
That warms my heart so much. I mean, it's nice that it's a holiday video and it comes back, and I love that people watch it with their families and it's part of their holiday.
it's a heartwarming video. Your impression of her is not
is.
like a scathing takedown of
No.
the woman. You clearly love her.
I do. I love my mommy. Yeah, she's very, those are all her clothes and that was her house. And, she never wants to wear anything that I've worn, but after she gives it to me, obviously, like bathing suits and stuff like that. What
did Margie think when she became Linda?
Oh, she loved it. I think the premiere of Bob's Burgers, before anyone even knew what the show was, she had like a burger party, and she's totally into any type of success, obviously. I waited tables for a long time,
She's supportive, but she's very excited about the success of it.
Yeah, she's still kind of like a secret stage mom in a way, where it's never enough. You know what I mean? Like, someday, you're gonna make it. And like, yeah, it's kind of. This might be as good as it gets, Mom. What's that?
Do you still get that from her a little?
Oh yeah, all the time. She
Maybe
just
one day
pushes
you'll get a movie or something.
Yeah. Well, it's like when she used to teach me how to swim when I was a kid. I would be like swimming towards that 70s bathing suit, and then it's like as soon as I start to get to her, she would start to back up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's just like she wants to just push you a little bit further, and
And then step in if you start drowning.
Right. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Right. Drown your child. Teach them how to swim. Yeah, that kind of thing.
One of my favorite videos that you did with your mom was the "My Son Is Gay" video.
Right.
I love that video. The come around at the end, the arc of it is so supportive and beautiful. Was it kind of like that?
Yeah, it's all the stages of grief, I guess, like a mom goes through when you find out your kid's a queer. But it all worked out well because, that was pretty much based on, I wrote her a letter, and because I couldn't tell her. It was like the early 90s, it was a lot harder back then, you millennials,
Spoiled brat.
Yeah, you don't realize the work we did. No, just kidding. So basically, I wrote her this letter, and then she called me, and she was a little upset, but it all came around, and now she's at the gay pride parade with like her tits flat out or something. No, just kidding.
Has she gone to one?
Yeah, she goes to them with me. Yeah, she's been.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. That's a really beautiful thing to come around that much.
No, she never really. Back then it was a thing where it was like there weren't many options for gay people. Like you couldn't get married and have kids, and it was thought of as a very especially her generation as a very lonely, sad lifestyle, which it is. But
You don't have that as a parent. You go. The stages of grief are not necessarily that my son is attracted to men. The stages of grief are that, like, oh, grandchildren, marriage, the sort of rites of passage that a mother expects upon having a son might not now they can happen.
whatever was going on in her head was not real, so it's fine. You know, that's what we do. The younger generation teaches the older generation, and we move on. You know, so that's what it was.
As Bob's Burgers has sort of, do you like that transition there? I
love it.
As Bob's Burgers has kind of sort of cemented its place on Sunday night, have you guys found more freedom in the stories that you're telling? Have you, because you're all kind of like, in your own ways, really, for lack of a better word, sort of weird comedians and not kind of like the classic kind of comics or maybe the sort of blue collar Kevin James sort of show. You're all like,
Yeah,
you were
we're
part
all
of
a
the
little
alternative
off.
Scene.
Yeah.
Offbeat, I think, is maybe
Yeah.
how someone would describe it. Do you find that you get to inject a lot more of that into a primetime show on Fox?
Yeah, and Lauren's kind of like our fearless leader, and he's also very kind of a classy guy that can see things very well before they're happening. So he's really good at guiding that kind of, you know, pulling it out of us, but just, you know, the right amount of stuff and the right type of humor that works for the show. Yeah.
Since so much of Linda comes from your original character that you were doing and your life, how much sort of input do you have on the storylines with Linda? I mean, if any at all.
Yeah, I mean, they listen to me, you know, as far as, you know, the improv and stuff, but the writers are so good, and you just really, it's kind of taken on its own life from my YouTube videos, you know, obviously this whole team of writers and a cast to work with, and Linda's a different character. My mom is more of a single mom, and, you know, Linda's kind of a younger, spunky Brooklyn-type mom, but, you know, the voice is always the starting point, so that pretty much is the beauty of animation. You can kind of reinvent a character, you know, without seeing it physically, so that's good.
You had some other characters back in the day that I'm assuming that you still have, one of which I think was her name Jackie?
Yeah, it was Deborah and Jackie.
Deborah
yeah.
and Jackie. She had
That
the taped nose.
That hurt to do a lot. I would tape my nose up and walk around town. And
Do you not do her anymore?
No, well, it's been a long time. There's a character on Bob's called Jocelyn that I do, and it's very similar to that voice as well. But yeah, I think you know, I'm pretty old, so it's you have to.
Are you that old, John?
You know, I don't know. Well, it's going out in public with your nose taped up and a wig on. You know, it's fun to a certain point, but then you're just like, I just want to be a voiceover.
you end up being the thing. I don't want to deal with those looks.
Yeah, but
I don't
for
wanna have to
comedy,
explain.
you know, also the videos I feel like are so. I kind of explored the characters in those videos, so I don't want to keep doing them over and over again and beat a dead horse. You know, it's nice to move on a little bit and work on other stuff too. So I kind of got more back into stand-up comedy when we do our Bob's Burgers live tour.
What's your stand-up like?
It's fun. It's sassy.
I mean, do you do voice? Are you doing a lot of voices in
do
it, or
characters and observational humor, and pretty much those two.
Was it difficult for you to get back into stand-up? Or was it like an immediately comfortable thing to do?
Well, I had started when I was like 17, 18. I took a class at the New School downtown, and I used to go to
Stand-up class?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I went to Stand Up New York back in the day. Used to do open mic nights, so I would do open mic, and I would bring in my family and friends would come in and do stand-up, and that's kind of how I kind of started back in the day. Long time ago, yeah.
How has your stand-up changed since then?
Well, then I used to do like Jerry Lewis. I talked about my mom back then. I think I used to do a bit where she used to knock on the bathroom door if I was in there too long and be like, "Are you all right in there? Like, what's going on in there?" That's not really funny, so. And then some other weird, stupid stuff, yeah. But it was good for me at that age to get on stage and to do that. It gave me confidence, and you know. The earlier you could do it, I think it's probably better.
How many voices are you doing on Bob's Burgers now?
I do like 3 or 4. Mostly Linda and Jocelyn, though, are the two big guys.
Is it the kind of thing where, since all of you are in the cast are like writers and creative people and can probably do sort of like Larry Murphy can do multiple voices?
Yeah, he's great at voices. Yeah.
That's his thing. He's amazing at it. Do you guys come in every now and then and say, "Hey, I got this new voice. Do you think we could find a character for it?" Or
no. Maybe Lauren would pick up on maybe if he watched my stand-up and he was like, "Oh, do that guy," but it doesn't really happen too much. I think Lauren's seen all of our shtick now, so he like knows what we're capable of, and you know.
If you bring something new to the table, he's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, please don't do that. Yeah.
It'd be amazing if Bob's Burgers going into its 7th season. I mean, and there's no chance of it really slowing down at this point because
Ever. No,
Ever.
hopefully not. You know, we're just so grateful, you know, that those first 2 seasons were kind of nail biters, and it's nice that we have a fan base and that people really love the show. So, and it's a great job, obviously, for my first TV show to be on. It's just a
which
dream.
could be on. I mean, if it's like Family Guy, it could be on for 10, 15, 20 years.
I'll take it. Yes. No. I mean, as long as I think as long as the show's good, Lauren's gonna want to continue to do it, and we'll hopefully find our way to like a King of the Hill situation. They were on for 14 seasons.
Well, while you're doing Bob's Burgers, what's next for you otherwise? What are you working on?
I've been working with Amy Poehler and John Benjamin, and Paper Kite is her production company, and we're about to go out and pitch this show that we've been working on. So that's exciting, and
Literally 3 of the funniest people that I can think of working together on
it's
something.
really such a dream to be working with the 2 of them, and great notes, and I love writing with John. We really have a good time writing together. So hopefully this will see the light of day, and I make music as well. I just recorded with Blondie. I did a song on the new Blondie album. Yeah.
You have a song on the new Blondie album?
Well, it's their song, and I'm singing on it. So it's
Singing with Debbie Harry?
Yeah.
Are you singing as Margie with Debbie Harry?
No, I'm singing as John Roberts. Yeah, and it's called Love Level, and it's a really cool song about love between short and tall people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have any relationship with Debbie Harry before this?
Yeah, I had a band in the East Village called OptiGrab, which is named after in the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin. He creates the OptiGrab. It makes everyone's eyes cross. So OptiGrab was my band, and we opened for Blondie a few times, and then I stayed friendly with Debbie Harry, and she did some of my YouTube videos, and
That's right. I remember now that you say that, I remember that she was in one. Excuse me.
yeah, and she's just always very supportive about my music stuff, which I'm kind of insecure about because I don't do it a lot. So I send her things, and she's kind of asked me.
Coolest person in the world?
Yeah, so it really validates me, and she asked me to do this bit on this song, and it turned out really well. So I'm really happy about that. And I've been working with this other artist, Big Black Delta, who's a dance artist, and great music. And we're writing some really fun stuff. So that I'm gonna start to do some videos. Put that out as well.
Do you feel like after Bob's Burgers has been running for a few seasons now, all of a sudden you feel a little bit more sort of freed up to kind of do a lot of personal creative stuff?
I try to enjoy it and not to audition too much for stuff and get into that. I'm just moving back here from LA. I was there for 5 years, so I'm coming home now. And
What brings you back?
I just feel like I miss the East Coast. I miss having a panic attack here, the neurotic, crazy New Yorkers, that it keeps me skinny.
Complaining and angry about everything.
Yeah, I miss it. And so basically coming back here and probably perform hopefully at Joe's Pub again, where I love to perform and do things like that.
Did you ever feel that way when you were in LA? Like, why aren't you people angry about stuff?
Yeah, I put it like LA, they're kind of like lizard people out there, like just mouth breathing, and they're like really like, and then like New Yorkers are like, they're like rat people, like really like hungry and opinionated, and those are my people. I'm more
What is
like
that? I don't like it. What is that?
I'm more
I
of a
like
rat,
it.
just really rabid, and whereas just LA, it's just it's different. It's a different vibe. Everyone's stoned out there too. There's a lot of weed. You just smell it all the time, and
I find there's less discerning opinion in LA than there is in New York. In New York, everybody has an opinion and wants to say it, wants
Right.
to give it, and wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like the idea of cocktail conversation is beyond the cocktail party anymore. It's just everywhere all the time. In LA, people are like, oh, I liked it. That was
right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little more. You don't want to rock the boat because you don't want to lose like your job, or you know what I mean. You got to just keep everything kind of glazed over. But here, it's like we pride ourselves on our stupid opinions. So that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like this is what I think. I'm a New Yorker. It's great.
Let's open it up to the audience for some questions.
Let's
right
do
here.
it. Hi.
Hey, John. Thank
What's
you for
your
being
name?
here. Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Thank you. Which animated show would you like to do a crossover with?
Oh, see this. Voltron, probably the new Voltron. Have like Linda in one of. Do you know what Voltron is? No, he doesn't. They actually redid it on Netflix. It's really good, the new one.
The version of Transformers, isn't it?
No, it's Voltron. It's old probably from the 80s. And it's a big robot, and they form the robot to make Voltron. There's like all these lions. You never watched Voltron?
No.
Oh my God.
It just sounds like a version of Transformers.
It's like, I think it was actually, maybe it was before Transformers even. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I told you I was old, okay?
What would you say? You mentioned The Jerk. What would you say your biggest influences are in comedy, or the ones that sort of made you want to jump into comedy?
Definitely Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, early SNL, Ed Grimley, you know, Martin Short, I loved. Margaret Cho, who I got to perform with a lot. She's a great stand-up. She reminds me of like old Richard Pryor. Yeah, Amy Poehler, people that are in that cast, Tina Fey.
Was
a lot of SNL people.
Was like Martin Short or like Paul Rubens when you were young one of the things that you saw that was like, I think I could do that?
Well, when I saw Paul Rubens and Pee Wee Herman, I saw his HBO special, and then my mom took me to see him at Carnegie Hall. And this was probably 1984 or something, before his show even came out. So I just fell in love with that character. It was such a great character. I think the whole, everyone did. So.
Did you like the new movie?
Yeah, I mean, he's great. Yeah, it's great.
I loved it. I thought it was like the exact same thing as Big Adventure, which I was like, great.
Yeah,
I'm happy to have a new Big Adventure in my life.
I like it when he gets out into the world, when Pee Wee explores, and yeah.
Next question.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Absolutely love the show.
Thank you.
Kind of hopping on that question. Is there like any particular maybe a comedian that you want to work with on the show?
On this show, yeah, like people like Pam Adlon. She's not really a comic; she's an actress. She's got her new show, Better Things, that's out there.
Incredible show.
Tried to get her. She's wonderful.
The voice, for those who don't know, she's the voice of Bobby on King of the. She was the voice of Bobby on King of the Hill.
Emmy winning. Yeah, she won. She says I'm writing her coattails now. So yeah, I mean John Benjamin. I'm happy to be working with him. He would be on this show with Amy Poehler. There's so many. I mean, there's so many good comics out now. Zach Galifianakis. John Oliver.
Comedy is such I hate the state of comedy conversation, but it is a different thing than it used to be even 10, 15 years ago. All of the wonderful comics like yourself and Galifianakis and Benjamin 10, 15 years ago were sort of, weren't struggling comics, but their brand of comedy was called alternative and was called like a different weird thing. And now it's actually just kind of what comedy is. Yeah,
it's the norm. And what's nice is the millennials are a big generation, so it did change the audience a lot. And the clubs and the venues like UCB and all these alternative venues started popping up. So you didn't have to necessarily perform at like, even though they're great, the Improv and Comedy Store and all these places, you can kind of do a alternative night and find your tribe there,
I think the amount of people who embraced comedy or are even a part of comedy became larger and larger because of things like UCB, and now comedy for comedy people is actually like a lot bigger of an audience than it used to be.
Yeah, it is kind of like the golden age, probably not since like the baby boomers, which makes sense. They had a big Gary Shandlings and David Lettermans, and when they were all kind of coming up, Jim Carrey and all those guys.
Next question. Right here.
Hey, John. My name is Kyle. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So I want to ask you a question. People talk to me all the time about my voice and how that I should get involved with voice work.
Right.
And I'd like to think when there's smoke, there's fire.
Sure.
I'm very unaware as to how to even get started.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you could give for someone who wants to make their way into that world?
Well, I'd say, because I totally didn't get in the conventional way just by performing and stuff, but excuse me, a little something in my throat. Yeah, I'd say just keep performing. I got in through performing characters, so if there's a character that you think would connect to that deep baritone voice of yours, and if not, maybe just become like, you could do like sexual stuff,
John, congratulations on 6 seasons, going into 7 seasons now on Bob's Burgers. Premieres Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
What time? 8?
We're on back at 7:30, September 25th, Sunday nights. We got Simpsons, Family Guy, Son of Zorn,
Oh yeah,
show.
New Son of Zorn.
You
Yeah,
got to check that out.
absolutely.
And we're very excited to be back, and we're really grateful to all the fans that have kind of kept us on the air. And
Absolutely, John.
working.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you
Congrats
guys.
on all your
Yeah.
projects. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.